Hello followers and welcome back to MrMFretwell Plays Minecraft, and in today's episode we are going to be working on the cave spider XP and string farm. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today, and it's been quite a while since I recorded my last episode. Things have obviously happened and I haven't had a chance really to record this, what with a couple of events going off, my vacation and so forth. It's been a good while since I've been able to record this particular series, but I'm looking forward to getting back into it, and we're going to start by working on this so that we can get string and XP from this thing. So yeah, the design I'm going with is Exuma's design, I believe that's how you pronounce it. His cave spider spawner tutorial seems to be the best way to go at the moment, and I've planned out so much so which directions you need to go to and so forth. So you need to go to directions 1 and 2, so 1 and 2 of these, and then you need to place 4 blocks from the spawner, so these 4 blocks and then these 4 blocks, and then start the room after that. So actually I think we've already made our first mistake. We were meant to place the blocks right here. Now this is just an efficiency thing, so it doesn't matter if we get this just a little bit wrong. It's okay, but it's very much, we want the farm to operate at maximum efficiency. So I am going to try my very hardest to actually get this to work properly. Now I am going to have to kind of adjust the corridor here once the farm is built to kind of accommodate for this addition here, but we'll do that in time. So as I'm doing this, I have a little story to tell you, and that story is about my disaster day trip. And basically my disaster day trip was, well, it wasn't all bad, but it was pretty bad. I went to a seaside town for the day, and I'm going to have to just make this go 3 out, and then we start the wall after that. So there we go. So yeah, I was on this day trip, and I went to the English town of Scarborough. If you live there, let me know. It's pretty cool, nice place. But I went on a coach. I didn't go via car like I would normally do for different events and whatnot. I just decided it would be a better idea to go on a bus because they were offering coach trips with my local travel company, and I wasn't really doing anything, so I thought, well, let's give it a go. Now, bear in mind at this point, my father said not to do it because he had some bad experiences with coach trips. But I was like, I'm sure it will be alright. This was a good number of years ago now. Coaches have improved a lot since then, and all that kind of stuff. But oh boy, did he turn out to be right. We had, the coach was good quality, and I would recommend the coaches. They were good, but oh, there was just so many issues. We went on a coach when we thought we were going to be travelling maybe 3 hours, because that's how far Scarborough is away from where I live. It's around 3 hours on a good day. Obviously we could allow exceptions for traffic and so forth, but it ended up taking us 5 hours, and that's because the bus stopped off, as buses often do, at 2 other places after us. So we had to go to these 2 places, which were not in the direction of Scarborough, so it made it a very long journey, and it was painfully long. So that's kind of what happened with that. As I say, the coaches were good quality, but they weren't great. I was surprised in many ways at the fact that there was these toilets on board which were not great. I'm not going to go into too much detail about those because, oh man, it's really bad. But let's just say it didn't flush. I'm gonna leave it at that. But that made the journey unpleasant. It was a very hot day, and I don't think the air conditioning was working, and we couldn't open any windows, so it was baking hot, and we had all of these other issues as well. And then, to top it all off, 5 hours later we finally get there, only to find out we have less than half the time that we were promised when we got on the coach. And that was probably due to the fact that we were messing around, trying to pick everybody up. Now, I could understand it somewhat if there wasn't a bus to where the coach picked us up from, because I had to get on a bus from where I live to the nearest city, which I thought, fair enough. They're not going to come and stop there. But they ended up stopping off at 2 other places which you could get a bus from, which seems kind of farcical, really, because we've had to take a bus journey, but other people have managed to get away with it. And what was even more frustrating is the fact that there was only like 5 people who actually ended up getting on from that place. So the majority of people got on at the stop we were at, and I think some people came from those places to the main bus stop in Nottingham. But we had to go to these places, and it kind of wasted a lot of time, and it made the journey very long. Oh, must be too dark somewhere. So we don't want that. Oh dear, forgot how poisonous those little guys are. But that was kind of the disaster on the way there. And in addition to that, we had a disaster on the way back as well, because somebody almost got left behind, which made us really, really late, because we were meant to turn up at 6:15. They did not turn up. They thought it was going to be 6:30, so we ended up being 15 minutes late. And as a result of that, when we got back to the bus station, the last bus that went back to where I live, at the bottom of my street, just pulled out as we got into the car park. There wasn't going to be another one, but it was going to be an hour's wait, which kind of seemed a bit pointless. So I had to get on another bus, which took me back to the centre of my local town, and I had to walk back through the town at 11 o'clock at night, when all of the drinkers, and those who like to have a few, were out and about, which is very unpleasant, I'll put it that way. It's kind of creepy, really. Definitely not something I would want to do regularly. So, cold there. So that kind of just capped off the day. As far as the actual place itself, that was pretty good. The day trip itself was pretty good. It was just the coaches that were poor. Well, the coach organisation that was poor, should I say. The coach quality was good. They had nice, comfortable seats. And the toilet had a few issues, but I guess that was to be expected. Now, I've kind of, up to this point, made the room. Now, we do need to go 2 below, so I'm going to have to carve this out now, and I'm going to make the bottom of the room, then we're going to rig up some lighting. So, while I was there, I did take somewhat of a look around. The person I went with, though, unfortunately, did fall over, which kind of hampered the day, making it a little worse. That was not ideal, but hey, you can't help that. If there's a hole in the road, and you're trying to cross the road, falling in it, it's going to happen to somebody. And that was kind of not very good either. So it was a bit of a disaster, but I did find some nice places to eat, and I'll probably link them in the description if you want to check them out, because I can't remember the names off the top of my head. It's been a little while since I actually went on this trip, so I believe one was called the Princess Cafe or something like that. That was a really good one. Although the problem I had with that one is the can't speak today. The proprietor. Oh dear. The owner. We're going to go with that instead of whatever that other word is. I know what I'm trying to say. The proprietor. There we go. Was kind of falling out with the employees, which you don't want to see that while you're just trying to have a cup of tea. It's not ideal. It's not very nice, and the people who were on the next table to me clearly didn't approve of me for whatever reason, because they kept giving me the odd, I wouldn't say nasty look, but they looked as if they weren't impressed by what I was doing, but I wasn't actually doing anything, so I don't know on that one. But it was a good calf. It gave you a good cup of tea, which is important on a day like that. But there was not too many places I could really recommend. Oh, wait, really out of stone bricks. Wow. Hopefully I have enough. I should do though. So that kind of pretty much sums up my disaster day trip. Terrible buses, got back late, ended up 5 hours each way, so I spent 10 hours of the day travelling, which by the way was longer than it took for me to travel on my vacation, almost twice the length. That surprised me. I don't know where they're spawning at. I'm going to have to put some torches on the walls. Oops. There we go. So that kind of capped it off, as well as somebody falling over, which is never good. And then having people argue and people giving you dodgy looks. It just, nothing went right for me that day. I don't think it tops the aerial incident though, which I talked about in the other episode. That was just awful. That was just a genuine, horrible mistake. But that was pretty much my disaster day trip. Aside from that, I went and I looked at this Doctor Who TARDIS thing on the seafront, and I'm going to put a picture in the video because I took a picture of it. If there are any American Doctor Who fans, there's this police public call box on the seafront, and I got a picture of that. I had a wander around the town. I've never been. My parents have been, but I haven't ever been. So it was kind of a new experience for me, as far as I was concerned, going to this place, because I'd never done it before. I didn't know really what to expect, and I'm stuck in this room and I don't really know where I'm supposed to be going. No, it's not this way. I think it's the opposite direction. It's right here somewhere. Yeah. So it was a new experience for me. Would I use coach trips again? Maybe, but certainly not to go that far. That was the huge problem with it, was the distance that you had to travel. It was not ideal. 5 hours. We could have done it in 3 if we'd have not stopped off at the 2 other places going out of our way. But even then, that is still a long time to travel on a coach. And believe me, a lot of people were getting unsettled, and I'm not just talking about the young children. Genuinely, a lot of even the adults were beginning to get slightly fed up with not so much the waiting time, it was just the fact that it just seemed to take forever. But in the grand scheme of things, we weren't actually there that long on the bus, but we didn't get that much longer there either, so I don't really know what happened to that. Now, something doesn't seem right with this. This seems to be a bit of an issue here. Because you're meant to go 1, 2, 3, and then here, but that doesn't seem right. We've got 4, and then 4, and then 3, and 3. 1, 2, 3. I need to get the redstone lamps in to disable cave spiders from spawning. So I need to kind of figure out the placement of this as best I can. Here's where 1 is meant to go. And if I go 1, 2, 3... See, it can't possibly go there. That ain't right. And if I go 1, 2, 3 from here, I'm going to end up there. That isn't right either. I'm concerned. I think I've made some sort of mistake in the room size, because I'm not being able to place the lamps correctly. Because you need to walk in, and that doesn't make sense putting it there. But it does from here, so let me just take a look at this, and then I will be right back, guys. Okay guys, so I'm back and I figured it out. It turns out you need to place the lamp on the 3rd block in, which is where I was getting confused. I thought that you needed to leave 3 before placing the lamp, but I've got it now. So what I'm doing now is I'm just kind of filling in this gap here, so that we are protected and no creepers are going to wander into my wiring, hopefully anyway. So that's what we're doing now. So yeah, I don't really have too much more to say on the day trip front, other than what I've already said. I hope I haven't put you off coach trips. They're okay, but if you want to go somewhere that's a long way away, I would suggest going of your own accord and not relying on somebody else. But that's just me though. Other people may have better fortunes than I did with it. I'm sure that there are many day trips out there which are probably better suited to other people than me. There we go, turn that on. Now this is supposed to disable spawning, but I don't 100% know on this. I would be surprised if it does. I think it's changed. The spawning pattern of it has changed. I'm really nervous about taking these down. I'm going to stand by the door, and I'm going to observe this for a minute. So yeah, I mean, probably it will work for some other people, and if it does, that's great. But for me, I probably won't do another one of those again. But it's up to the individual person, I guess. It's an acquired taste, I will say that. I couldn't say much more than that, really. You need to probably get used to them. Because I haven't done one before, I probably haven't got adjusted to the way things kind of work with it. But I mean, that is something that I could maybe try in the future. I'm probably going to move this lever, so I'm going to put a redstone torch here now, so that the lights will remain powered. So, yeah, that pretty much covers my disaster day trip, if you were remotely interested in that. So now what we need to do is we need to take these out, and we're going to put water in the bottom of the room. And the way we're going to do that is obviously with water buckets, as we always do. And I'm going to use the handy little trick here, where we can make infinite water sources. Like so. Now we're going to take those out, and now I believe we need some steps for this, because it's the only way you can move spiders effectively. I'm not 100% sure on that, but this is the way that the Exuma's video has said to do it, so that's the way I'm going to roll with it for this time. But it doesn't seem to be spawning anything, which is great. I went with stone brick just because I like that style-wise over, say, using cobblestone or something like that. I keep forgetting that they are 1 block high, so they should be able to fit through that. So now I need to carve a little bit of this out before funneling them into the spider tunnels. Okay guys, so I've cleared a little bit of room here now, and we need to start putting the signs in for this section. And I have 8 signs prepared. These sit on top of the steps, like so, and we've got these in now. Now it's kind of a bit confusing what I actually have to do from here, and how the water kind of flows. I believe that I'm going to have a hole here actually, and then we're going to have this along the bottom, and a similar thing over here. So let's do this, although I think that one needs to be flat to the wall. And we're going to kind of just run like this. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing yet, so to speak. Some of this is kind of figuring it out as I'm going along. But hopefully we can solve this using some of our knowledge with water. I apologise if this episode isn't turning out very good. I don't know why, I just don't feel as if I'm really on it today for some reason. But I'm going to keep going and keep working at it and see where we get. And I've also switched to Worker 2. Worker still can be repaired, it's fine, it's just that I haven't got the XP to repair it right now. And I don't really want to go AFK by the zombie grinder, so I had another pick lying around, but I did have the experience to rename that one, so I've just gone ahead and done that instead, and I think that's going to be the better way to go. There we go. Let's just fill up our water when we're full. Oh. Well, we can do this, and let's just pick this up. Oh, and yeah, now I've got to break myself out of here. And of course, we are full. Let's toss these for a minute. So let's put you back. Let me pick you up. And let's toss some stuff out that I don't want. Spider eyes and string I'm now going to get a ton of. This crafting table I meant to put down while I was over there. So let's do that. And let's get to the next part, which is going to be trying to get these guys into this spider tunnel. So let's just put you here, I guess. Now then, as regards water, we need to put this across the edge. Now, in Exuma's video, he used glass. I'm not going to use glass. I'm going to use just stone bricks because I'm not really going to be viewing this. And that should flow in that end, and we need to do the same thing right here, but it's going to be here instead. Yeah. Now we've got to find the middle, which... Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. No, 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 no. We need to get it right there. And I'm going to put that back, put my torch back up. Now we've got to find the middle. Excuse me. Is this the middle? Maybe? It's hard to tell. I've put maybe, what is it now? 4 either side, I think. Let me just carve this out a little more. I guess it... I could have used glass for this part, maybe, but I want to keep the room dark, which is why I have not gone with using glass. I could take anything out that's not stone bricks. Let me see, let me think. I am going to say... Maybe, I think it's 3 either side, so 3, and then another 3, and then we're going to have an extra one. So we are going to want to make the water flow out just a couple of blocks. Like this, and I'm just going to carve a little bit of a room out back here so that I can work. Getting lots and lots of cobble out of this, more than I actually thought I was going to get, but there we go. I'm just going to put that workbench out of the way here in the corner. And let me see, if I crack this open, it's meant to spill out 3 blocks and not go any further than that, so it's not that one. This is going to be a bit of trial and error work. Definitely don't want to break that one. So 3 blocks. Nope. Maybe I was right first time. I don't know if I measured it correctly. But this is not going the way I really want it to. Oh no. I'm just not on it today. I don't know why. It's just I'm not feeling up to it at the moment, it seems. Let's try it from here. There we go. That's that bit fixed. Now let me put you up here. Now I hope that this is going to push them through to the center. We should probably test that and just kind of see what's happening. We could have looked from this side, I guess. There's a dead zone here. Why is there a dead zone? It's meant to be current flowing through. This is my concern. There's a dead zone right here, and if spiders get stuck in that, they're just going to stick there, and they're not actually going to do anything, which is not what I want. But I've put the water in right. I don't know whether water mechanics changed after this. What would that do if I move that? Make a flood? No, that's not right. I'm going to have to fiddle with that for a moment and try and get that right. Because I don't want to go and finish the trap and then realise that there's a dead zone. So let me just take a few moments to try and figure out what this bit is here and try and solve it. Okay guys, so I solved the dead zone problem. Just needed to reshuffle around the water, and I'm about to prepare the next step for the actual tunnel here where the spiders are going to get funneled through. And all we need for that now is a water source block. And we need to put a roof on it, obviously, as well, which we're going to go and get from here. That's not good. Let's fix that. I must say that this is probably a really challenging build, if anything else, just with all the fiddly, watery bits. I wouldn't like to build one of these very often, that's for sure. I think for my next cave spider trap, I'm going to come up with something myself, instead of trying to use someone else's design. So, water, that was it. Did have to pick up some more stone bricks, but I did have some stone left in the furnace. Oh, I have one. I'm more prepared than I even think. So let's just do this, and I think after this, pretty much all we've got to do then is kind of fix up the redstone part of it, which hopefully is... It looks relatively simple, but you never know with these things. I did do a little bit of work, as you can see here. We're going to have to knock a little bit of this out, and we're still going to work on making the room all nice and pretty. This is all the guts of it at the moment. But let's see if this works, and it does. So we now have this right here. And I'm going to cap that off with some stone bricks. Like so. Excellent. Now we've got this bit right here, and it's time to start work on the redstone part. And this is quite complicated for me to try and explain and do. So I'm going to work on this for a little bit, and when I get back I'll show you the finished redstone and probably how it works, rather than trying to show you how to build it, because this isn't a tutorial, this is more of a let's play series. So I think I would be better off showing you how it works rather than trying to fiddle around with actually making it on camera. So I'll be right back, guys. Okay guys, so welcome back, and as you can see I have done the redstone for this. Quite simple really, just needed a lot of repeaters, and I've got it running, and as you can see I am getting some major lag, and that's because there's about 225 spiders in there. I left it while I was AFK doing a couple of other things, and I've let a couple of spiders build up in there, so now we can actually test it. And I've got a potion here, a splash potion of harming. And what this is going to do is it's going to kill all the spiders in one go, so we don't have to punch them to death. And a cool little trick you can do in 1.6 is switch to your sword if it has looting on it before the spiders die, and you'll get the looting effect. So we're going to take advantage of that too. So let's see this puppy in action. So what it's going to do is it's going to push the bottom piston, there's two pistons here, upwards, so it forces the spiders into the top section. And then this block is going to extend, and they are going to suffocate for a certain amount of time, leaving them one hit away from death. Now, we could punch them all day, but that's going to drain our food meter, so we can just use a splash potion of harming. And all of the resources for a splash potion of harming are renewable. Spider eyes, well, we've got a spider farm here, so we're going to get those. Sugar, I've got a sugarcane farm, and brown mushrooms. And we don't have a brown mushroom farm yet, but we may look into building one of those. So let's flick the lever. As you can see, it's beginning to suffocate them, and it will suffocate them for the correct amount of time. And what we're going to do now is we're going to stand back, we're going to toss the potion at the iron bar, and then we're going to quickly flick to our sword, and then we will get the looting effect. There we go, look at that. Oh man, the lag. And all this XP, lovely XP. So until I flick the lever, it actually will not extend again. So I'm going to get the crazy XP for a little while, but that's fine. I don't know, but it seems that the cave spiders seem to spawn faster than zombies. So this may turn out to be, in fact, a better XP farm than the zombie grinder is, but the zombie grinder has the advantage of you can actually use for armor and stuff like that. This is a lot of XP, and I'm going to collect the drops in a moment as soon as the XP's kind of sunk in, and we're going to get string and spider eyes and everything else. At least I'll be able to repair my pick now. I need 32 to repair my pick. Still going, but I think we are beginning to see the last of it now. There we are, look, there's the last of it. Or maybe not. I wonder how many levels I'm going to get out of this. Yeah, there we go. That's it, and now we can just pick up these through the corner. And whoa, that's a lot of string. I didn't leave it that long, really. Perhaps maybe half an hour at most. But that is a lot of string and a lot of spider eyes. Very happy with that. That is a great haul. So I'm gonna set up next episode a proper organized place to kind of put chests. I'm gonna clean all of this up, make it look nicer, but for right now, certainly we've got what I wanted to do done. We've got the cave spider spawner fixed up. I can I guess put my sound back on now. I'm gonna flick the lever and it will just open again. And I need to kind of maneuver some of the redstone around. I'm gonna put a lever on the wall maybe here, which will control the lights up there so that we can turn it on or off. And then we will need to work on a little pathway right here. I've dug a small tunnel just to kind of get myself a rough idea. Here's the bedroom to back towards the corridor, and we'll have to work on that a little bit. But aside from that, I think we are making real progress now. I'm going to get access to string, which is going to give me access to anything that I need to make with string. We're going to have access to tons of bows now, tons of wool. We're going to have access to lots and lots of things, and as you can see, it's already rapidly filling up again. So I'm going to repair my pick-off camera. I may end up switching to this as my more permanent XP solution, but we'll have to see on that one. So aside from that, as I say, next episode we will focus on cleaning that up and getting that all nice and tidy. So we'll have a finished XP farm. I'm going to put some proper organised chests and so forth in here, and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's going to be just about it, I think, from me today, guys. I hope that you've enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Let's just repair the pick before we go. 32 levels. Boom. Worker is back in action. But I'm going to keep Worker 2 for a little bit. So that's going to be, as I say, just about it from me today, guys. I hope that you've enjoyed, and I hope that you like the Cave Spider XP and string farm that we've got going on now. Definitely going to be handy if I need to use string for anything. So, until next time, guys, see you later, and have a good day.